Mayong hapon sa tanan, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary, majority floor, you already have a quorum. Okay, do we already have a quorum? We already constitute a quorum. Mayong hapon sa tanan, the 93rd regular session sa Guniang Panglusod, Akbayan sa Cagayan de Oro is now called to order. Please do stand. An invocation this afternoon, regular session by Councilor Rodolfo Bunglao. Is he around?
Present by.
Okay. Councilor Rodolfo Bunglao, mayong hapon kanimo.
May hapon po, Mr. Presiding Officer, and good afternoon, everybody. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Almighty Father. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that feels the presence of this room. We thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning. Every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up, and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all those present, as well as the lives of those who will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. This we ask in Jesus' name, your Son, and in unity of the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Councilor Rodolfo Bunglao. And for the singing of our national anthem. And for the Cagayan de Oro March. May hapon sa tanan. Before we proceed, I would like to congratulate our fellow public servant, no other than Dr. Majority Councilor, Floor Leader Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya.
Yay!
Congratulations. Ikaw, kayo.
Thank you.
Or a new milestone in his life. He is equipping. Well, every day we will never stop learning. And now he has a new, he is equipping himself for in the service of our fellow Cagayanons, no, for doing his job or delivering his job much better than before. So, kung kay konsihal pa, majority, doktor pa, grabe ka. It's in public administration. Other than Councilor, Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya. Congratulations kanimo, Majority Floor,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
in behalf of the 19th City Council. So, unsa na sa kay sunod ba? Sunod na po dali nga kuan. Mr. Secretary, mayong hapon kanimo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Our 93rd regular session. Please do the roll call and determine if we do have a quorum.
Honorable Rener Joaquin VOy, City Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer. For the First District Councilors, Honorable Edna M. Dahino, Honorable J.R. Pascual,
Present.
Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable Saldi O. Ocon, Honorable George is Goking, Honorable Ruben R. Daba,
Present.
Honorable Lodan Jiswan, Honorable Romeo V. Calizo.
Present.
For the Second District Councilors, Honorable Joylene Mercedes L. Balaba, Honorable Maria Lourdes Isgaani, Honorable Ayan Mark Yunakaya, Honorable Suzette G. Magtahas Daba, Honorable Chodolfo E. Lau Jr.,
Present.
Honorable Enrico de Salcedo, Honorable Jocelyn B. Rodriguez,
Present.
Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Yan Lam Islim, Liga ng mga Barangay President, and Honorable John Michael El Seno, City SK Federation President. There is quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So we do have a quorum. So we may now proceed in our session proper for the 93rd regular session. So at this moment, Majority Floor Leader, Dr. Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya.
Thank you. Thank
You have the
Mr.
floor,
Chairman.
Majority Floor.
Salamat, Mr. Chairman. For as long as there is an effect of this vaccine, particularly on the Vice Mayor, we are happy to see and maybe share the effect.
Well, the one who can attest to is my wife about the effect of the vaccine.
We're happy, Mr. Chairman, that indeed the vaccine has served its purpose. And I would like to think that that's the side effect of another brand that this company has produced. Maybe there are some mix so that the impact has its own meaning for a gentleman who just celebrated Happy Father's Day. So we also would like to greet
Happy Father's Day to all.
everyone, fathers, Mr.
Sir
Chairman.
Torx, oh, happy Father's Day. Oh.
And to our colleagues, good afternoon, and friends from the media, fellow Cagayanons, may hapon. I move, Mr. Chairman, to dispense with the reading of the minutes of meeting on June 14, 2021, and to consider the furnishing of this copy to every member as the reading itself.
Second.
With the majority floor.
Second.
Seconded. Correction? Is there any correction? Correction? None? Hearing none. Hearing none, it is hereby approved.
I likewise move for the approval of the said minutes of
For
meeting.
its finality,
Second.
Second.
Happy Father's Day, Councilor Jay.
Thank you, Councilor Ayan.
Lagi mo na ang ating-
Congrats.
Thank you. So on special report portion, Mr. Chairman, we have actually 4 members, but may I mention first the 3, considering that it has been the rule of the council until such time that we have available time, the presiding officer can rule to accommodate additional 1 or the 4th reporter. For the 3 reporters, Mr. Chairman, we have Councilor Rodan Swan, who would like to render a report on his observation and recommendation might as well on the real property tax. And Councilor Duc Buboy Daba would like to render a report on the face shield ordinance. Councilor Edgar Cabanlas as regards the COVID ordinance, Mr. Chairman. So, and the 4th, if the presiding officer would accommodate Councilor Roger Abaday on his concern about the RTA uniform. So, Councilor Swan, Buboy Daba, and Cabanlas for now, Mr. Chairman.
okay, our first reporter, Councilor Lordan Swan. You have the floor. Mayong hapon kanimo.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor. To my esteemed colleagues in the City Council, fellow Cagayanons, ladies and gentlemen, may hapon ka natong tanan. 2 weeks ago, I gave a privileged speech asking that we give ayuda to our fellow Cagayanons who were affected by the MECQ. Nothing became of it. Then, a few weeks later, the IATF placed us on an extended MECQ until the end of the month. So I thought, karon na atay siguro ikaduha nga higayon nga makahatag og ayuda sa atong mga kaigsunan. Nagpadala na kog sulat sa atong mga kadagkuan sa City Hall, nangayo ko og liquidation sa atong COVID funds. Aron pod makaibaluta sa tinuod nga situation sa atong financial situation sa atong syudad. If the reason why my suggestion to give ayuda was not acted upon is because of a lack of public funds, then naabo ko'y suggestion o naabo ko'y proposed nga solution. Aron na yung sulod nga kwarta sa atong panudlanan, aron makahatag ta og ayuda sa atong mga kaigsunan. We will entice delinquent taxpayers into paying their business taxes by reducing the amount they are going to pay through the removal of surcharges and penalties. Kaning surcharges ug penalties, dako kay ni sila nga amount yun. Regarding also the real property taxes, I am proposing that we condone all real property tax delinquencies which are older than 5 years, and also that we remove all surcharges and penalties as well. This will give business owners and establishments some much needed economic reprieve, considering that it is undeniable that the pandemic has affected all of us, and especially businesses and establishments. It would be nice if the city could show our business owners some compassion, kay siguro daghan na gyud na nirado ug daghan na pod na alkansi. Now take note, I'm not saying that we are going to exempt people from the payment of taxes. I'm simply proposing that we incentivize people to pay their taxes through the removal of obstacles and difficulties such as penalties and surcharges. Kay naagyo ko'y actual nga na istorya ang mga tao nga mayon sila nga gusto sila mobayad sa ilang sa ilahang business tax, pero sakit kaayo ang penalties and surcharges, especially karong panahon na nga pandemic nga hinay kaayong negosyo. Gani daghan nagsirado sa 2020 until 2021, and then ang full amount pagyapon ang ipabayad sa ila. So gadua-dua silag abri. Sayang kay ni nga kwarta nga posible unta masulod sa atong panudlanan nga pwede na day nato magamit. So I am therefore respectfully proposing that the City Council make an ordinance granting these tax amnesties, or that maybe we can make a resolution asking the mayor to grant this aron na anay mosulod nga kwarta sa atong panudlanan para naatay ikahatag nga ayuda sa atong mga kaigsuonan na apektado sa MECQ karon. Kana lang, dagang salamat, maayong hapon.
May hapon. So, for the special report by Councilor Lord Anzuan, any reaction? Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Mark Cubat na kaya. Reaction?
We would like to commend the proposal of Councilor Lord Swan. It's laudable, and it, of course, has a direction towards perhaps intentionally or unintentionally could serve its purpose by inviting all taxpayers to pay with the incentive as proposed in the subject matter of this special report. However, there are also downsides, Mr. Chairman. For instance, even in my incumbency as the chair of the Committee on Economic Enterprises for almost 6 years now, in 2 terms, stakeholders and the stallholders love it. Even in 2016, 2017, the pressure was very high because we're talking about thousands of stallholders telling us to eliminate the surcharges and perhaps scrap the previous utang or the uncollected fees and charges, even without business permits. But I never stood in one of our sessions prior to this, Mr. Chairman, to propose, because even if in 2016 there were only 29% who recorded to have paid their renewal of business permits, current, and all the fees and the monthly rentals. But the 29% have paid diligently, Mr. Chairman. And now, due to forceful collection, we raise up to 89 and more than 90% now collecting. I have the report right now, only one in the prime rentables, Mr. Chairman, in Pugur Market, have not renewed his business permit out of hundreds. So in other words, it's just a matter of forcibly collecting. And we understand the plight of our businessmen. 100%, Mr. Chairman. But again, the downside and the effect of our own bended exercise of power would somehow run counter in the future collections of the city government. Because there might be an instance, Mr. Chairman, that real property owners would wait for another round of this act of the city council to reduce or even eliminate the surcharges. So what would be now the stand of the city council as a policy maker as regards collection, as regards surcharges? That's a real issue, Mr. Chairman. Not only that this time has in a pandemia scenario, and the effect is very worst. But we have to evaluate and see the light of all the angles, Mr. Chairman, so that we will not be negated from our act as the government collecting regulatory imposed fees and charges. And otherwise, we might not be able to collect in the future the right figures and amounts for the people of Cagayan de Oro. So instead of deciding immediately, Mr. Chairman, again, I'm 100% in agreement with the strategy, but for now, I am not yet ready to decide. Maybe we get some comments from the local finance committee. It's the planning financial body of the local government unit, the LFC, and the city assessor, the city treasurer, the budget officer, and even the city mayor, Mr. Chairman, because they know best the strategic position of our financial activities of Cagayan de Oro. So thank you.
We thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Leader. Ayan Mark Kiblat na
Yes,
kaya.
sir.
Okay, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas. Want to have a reaction?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vice Mayor. Congratulations, Dr. Ayan, for another accolade of from God that you are now given that privilege to serve our people with that qualification, very high qualification. I would like to suggest that we should refer this to the Committee on Ways and Means. And this committee will, of course, call the attention or perhaps call a meeting with the executive department for the possible recommendation, because it is not quite proper that we should act on this petition of Councilor Swan, passing that ordinance without asking the executive department. The suggestion should come from the executive department, and for us, this council, to pass the ordinance. So let us refer this first to the
So the
Committee
process,
of Ways
the
and
process.
Means. Kaya sila man ang Ways and Means, man ang partis buhis, exemption, additional taxes, man nga committee ang muak. That would be my suggestion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Edgar Cabanlas. I think it is a
Mr. Chairman.
clearly a Councilor Lordon's one. Okay, Councilor Chodolfo Bonglao, you want to add something? Okay.
Yes, thank
Floor.
you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Actually, last time we formed a tripartite committee regarding this matter to maybe to know the financial status of our city. Because at this moment, Mr. Presiding Officer, our city is continuing disbursing funds for the protection of our people in Cagayan de Oro, like sustaining the isolation units, the buying of medicines and other equipment for the COVID-19. That's why we wanted to know whether the city government can still afford to give aid to our people, especially that we are under the MEGCQ. Now, second, on the proposal, Mr. Presiding Officer, regarding the condonation of delinquent payments, for me, on my personal opinion, it is injustice on the part of those who are religiously paying taxes. Why? Sila gabayad og tinarong on time, pero wa tay incentives yatag sa ila. Here comes na ay taxpayers nga gapa palingaw-lingaw lang din na nga despite nga gisulatan na sila nga doon na sila obligation to pay for the city, wa lang gyapon nila atiman na. So karon atong tagaan condonation, di ba? Murag unfair kaya murag reklamo ang mga taxpayers who are religiously paying their taxes. So ato yun, insakto, I agree with the majority, Dr. Nakaya, that we should study very well before we will decide because last budget hearing, there was a recommendation. I remember there was a recommendation coming from the city treasurer's office that they will write a letter to every individual who have delinquent payments in their revenue. So we would like to know whether that letter was effective, the collection is indeed improved. That's one thing that we should know, so that whenever that we could make decisions, at least we are well informed, we are well apprised with regards to our financial status. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Rodolfo Bunglao. So, anyone to react? Somebody? React? Wala na? Okay.
As suggested,
So-
Mr. Chairman, we refer that to the committee on the Ways and Means and maybe to include the finances of Councilor.
Okay.
Ingay.
Okay, thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Alright. So, well, thank you for the special report about this ayuda. Well, we all know that we are facing this pandemic, no? All of us hardly hit by this pandemic. So, but when it comes to this ayuda, well, for me, we are all officials. But do you know, or we know, all our powers and duties and limitation as official? When it comes to ayuda, not even a single councilor in the entire Philippines will ask any amount to have or grant for ayuda to every people. But this, in terms as stated by the local government code, it is already give the power to the executive branch. There is no need for resolution. As reported by Councilor Lord Dansuan nga, hantod ka wala pag ayuda. But tungod kay dili na to trabaho sa konseyo. Dili na kinahanglan resolution. At least this issue will give it a period or an answer in this query. You can write up, you can send it for the ayuda to the executive branch. There is no need. It is an inherent power of the executive branch to do the same for this ayuda. In other words, or in other issue, the other special report for this condemnation of this taxation. So there must be a collaboration between the local finance committee and so as to the proposal of Councilor Lord Dansuan, especially as proposed, giving a reason that it must be a combination of ways and means and so as the finance committee chairman to further study this proposal, especially that we needed most by the state for generating a revenue to tax and so as to give an ayuda. So maybe to study this further, it must be, I ruled it out that it must be referred to the committee as suggested by our fellow councilmen, to the Ways and Means chaired by Councilor, to study further, chaired by Councilor George Sio Guking, and so as Councilor Edna Dahino, and with the collaboration and study further this proposal with the local finance committee of Cagayan de Oro. So I think it is shared clearly. So any other special reporter this afternoon? Councilor Buboy Daba. Councilor Buboy Daba.
Thank you, Mr.
You have the
Chair.
floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Og salamat sa tanan og maayong hapon sa atong mga bisita diha sa plenary. Mr. Chair, nakadugog kita og balita adtong June 17 nga ang atong Pangulo Duterte inuutos umano ng Department of Health na itigil na ang paggamit sa face shield or hanggang hospital na lamang ito gagawin. Tapos ang atong Senate President si Tito Soto ni ubansad ni ana. So naghimo man kitag ordinansa ni ana no dinhi sa Cagayan de Oro about sa face shield. So ang akong gihangyo, Mr. Chair, nga ato tang ihatag og dako nga tahas ang atong local IATF nga sila ra gyud ang magbuot kung kanusa o unsay ang ilang gusto nga kanang agendum or kanang any kausaban sa atong ordinansa. Kaysa akong tan-aw, Mr. Chair, murag dili gayud maayo nga atong tangtangon ang atong face shield labi na karon nga ang atong dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro gamay pagyud kaayo ang na injeksyonan sa atong vaccine. And then medyo kulba kayo kay naana na ba yung mga yugong-yugong or na yung mga kuan lugar nga report nga ang Delta variant nga gikan sa India medyo nakasulod na gyud sa Pilipinas. So kulba kayo, Mr. Chair. So mura na kana akong ampo, Mr. Chair, nga imo untang i-refer kini sa atong Committee on Health kay para iyang makuan ang atong IATF, local IATF, to make any recommendation para sa atong kausaban sa atong ordinansa, Mr. Chair. Daghang kayong salamat ug maayong hapon sa tanan.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Gobendaba, for your informative resort. But there is no need for this to the a further discussion to the committee, but we have to wait for the final order of the executive, no other than our president, the chairman of the IETF National, for this final order. Is there already a final order?
Mr. Chair, ang last nga kuan, Mr. Chair, update gikan sa kang Secretary Noglares nga face shield are still required. So muna siya. So ang ako, Mr. Chair, ako na lang. Yes, Mr.
That
Chair.
is okay. Thank you, Councilor Gobendaba. But that is why we'll just wait for the final order so that to avoid the confusion. Basin
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Nanaputong ansanang fake news na sad. So,
Lagi.
confusion sa atong mga katawhan.
Ang ako magud, if I may, Mr. Chair, ang ako magud, Mr. Chair, kay mas dako kayo og knowledge ang atong local IATF kay kung i-base nimo sa national nga IATF, ilag yun ka nang i-base sa Metro Manila or Greater Manila. Nakatong grabe kayo nga kuan kay krasyan kaluoy sa Ginoo, gaubos naman gyud ang ilang kaso tungod kay grabe na kayo ang ilang pagbaksin dito. Unya kung dinhi nato i-base nato kanang atong ordinansa dinhi sa atong local IATF, sila maka-decide gyud nga tangtangon na ba o dili. Kay Mr. Chair, pwede man gyapon nato mabili ng atong ordinansa even though ang national ilan nang gi-lift ang ilang order tungod sa atong IATF nga local nga maka-assess sa atong standing, Mr. Chair. Amura na ang akong prayer, Mr. Chair. Daghang kayong salamat.
So, much better, maybe much better that we will wait, Councilor Gobendaba, for the final order, not to confuse the local IATF and so as to the national IATF. So there must be two orders at the same time to solve this issue. So maybe we will much better for us to wait this order about this face shield, using this face shield in public. Well, I think there is want to add something, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani. Well, that is he put it into rest the decision by the council. So, Councilor Gobendaba, we'll just have
Thank
to
you.
wait.
Okay, thank you so
No
much.
need for us
Thank you
to-
so much, Mr. Chair. And then
Okay, thank you for
congratulations.
your
Yeah,
kind-
congratulations.
thank you for your
congratulations
kind
to the-
consideration.
Yeah, congratulations to the new doctor in the City Council, Dr. Ayan Mark Nakaya. Congratulations.
So, okay, you are referring to the committee chairman of the health or the committee majority floor leader, doctor?
Either which, okay, Ragapon. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Mr. Chair. And then,
Just joking, Councilor Gobendaba.
Yeah,
Thank you.
with your decision, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your kind consideration, Councilor Gobendaba. Well, he is a reasonable man and he is a good public servant. Thank you, Councilor Gobendaba, for your special report.
Thank you, Gao.
Our third reporter.
Actually, the fourth, if you will allow, Councilor. Oh, Councilor Cabanlas, the third reporter.
Okay, okay.
No, sige.
Our third reporter. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya. So our third reporter, Councilor Edgar Cabanas.
Okay, salamat kayo. Kayong hapon, Majority Floor, Dr. Ayan, our Vice Mayor, Pfizer, has signed an agreement of purchase of around 40 million vials of Pfizer vaccine. And this will be, the distribution will start, or the delivery will start at the end of July and up to September and October. So, and according to Secretary Nograles of the National, of the Cabinet of President Duterte, Mindanao and Visayas will receive around 50% of that 40 million vials. So that would be around 20 million for Visayas and Mindanao. And one of the priorities cities mentioned by him in that interview is Cagayan de Oro City. Why? Because Cagayan de Oro City has the storage capability to store, to receive this Pfizer vaccine. Pfizer vaccine requires minus 70 degrees centigrade of cold storage. Now, so with that as a background, Mr. Chairman, we can safely assume that we might be, or we may be receiving a very big volume of vaccine of Pfizer from the national government. What we need today, I think, is around 350 to 400,000 vaccine in order to reach that herd community, because we are around 750,000 to 800,000 population in the city of Cagayan de Oro. Now, if we will be given today, as of today, Cagayan de Oro was given 36,000 vials, and that would be divided by 2. That would vaccinate around 15,000 or 16,000 people. But if we will be given 100 to 200 vaccines to vaccinate 100,000 Cagayanon, I do not know if our doctors and nurses can accommodate the pagpangatag sa injection. Galisod ng mangani kita, taas na mangani kang linya karon. Kung sa pagka kung abot ka na nga panahon, now we have only around 1 month to prepare. My question is, are we ready? Are we ready to deal this volume of vaccine? Now, in other cities like Parañaque, Mr. Chairman, they were hiring long time ago. They were hiring private doctors and nurses to augment the present capability of our hospitals. Namuna akong suggestion nga, kinahanglan, my suggestion to the executive department now, we have to prepare. We must have a contingency plan to accept so that we can have an efficient and fast vaccine rollout by the end of July, August, and September. So our suggestion would be that the city government must now hire, call out doctors, part-time doctors perhaps, nurses, to help in the rollout. Kaya karoon nga itong presenting sistema, hinay pa, napamay, dagang kayo pa nga, napay mga proseso, tagas kayo nga tanan. So we need more vaccination centers, Mr. Chairman. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Kung maawat kita sa ubang syudad sa nasod nga nag-hire kanya pa sa mga nurses o doctors para mutabang sa pag-deliver niya ng vaccine ngadto sa mga tao. I think we should do that now. We should do that now kay kung dili na to nabuhaton og karon mga tiukan kita pagabot niya sa vaccine nga dili na to kaya sa pag roll out. Because I am expecting sa sa kakakita ko sa report na Kitas Cagayan de Oro will be receiving one of the biggest bulk of that 40 million vaccines that will arrive. Humana, kompleto na ang tanan, gipirmahan na. So we are expecting this vaccine to be delivered by the end of July in tranches. So I do not know what shall we do. Are we going to refer that to the health committee, or are we going to pass perhaps a resolution to our mayor, to the IATF, that we should hire more nurses and doctors now, good only for about 4 months, perhaps contractual, para nga makatabang pag roll out nini nga itong mga vaccine mo maabot. Salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, for your special report. I think it is clearly heard by our committee chairman on health, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani. So, Councilor Roger Cabaday, want to add something about the special report about this hiring?
Thank you very much, Mr. Presiding Officer,
Doctors.
Vice Mayor Kikang.
Okay.
Of course, my colleagues sitting out here, in relation with the special report of Councilor Cabanlas, talking about contingency plan, that's good. No? I have heard from the mouth of the city mayor during his press con that we need doctors, nurses. Gani, usan na ito kakauban, nag-volunteer yun, si Councilor Gani, na volunteer na siya sa because we lack and we are short of medical personnel. So aside from the proposal of Councilor Cabanlas that we will hire doctors and nurses and health workers, we have several universities here and colleges who are offering medicine and nursing. Why not also utilize this mga interns, no? Interns nila. Volunteer or giving a little token just to augment the need of our kaning kabalaka ni Councilor Kabalaka nato kay we need. That is also done by several cities. Nag-train sila og mga nursing student, mga personnel just to assess. Muna nga paspas sila daghan ilang kay kung saligan lang nato ato mga doktor, nurses Cagayan de Oro. Short na. Short niya uban nga madlok pa kay because of this So I think this is one strategy also. We will hire this intern medical students to assess the vaccination program now undergoing in the city of Cagayan de Oro. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Cabaday.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Kinsa man to? Councilor Boboy Daba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Councilor Ruben Daba, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gwapo kayo, no? Gwapo kayo ang idea ni Councilor Cabanlas. Pero kung imong mabantayan, Mr. Chair, ang Cagayan de Oro, busa gibutangan kita sa dako kayo nga stock sa kanang vaccine kay tungod sa atong storage facilities. And then as I interpret sa katong news nga, that's not only for Cagayan de Oro, that's for I think murag Northern Mindanao, kay ang uban nato nga mga silingan wala man sila storage facilities. So ang akong suggestion, murag gwapo kayo ko mukuan adto kang Councilor Abaday nga instead nga mag-hire kita, ato na lang i-encourage kay ako, I myself am also a registered nurse. Kanang I'm volunteering also. I'm just waiting for the call sa City Health nga matap nila. Daghan kayo nga atong mga kauban, labi na ka ng mga medical school nga they were also willing to help. So I go with the advice and the knowledge of Councilor Abaday na instead nga atong ikuan kay sa ato biyang kuan panudlanan medyo grabe na gyud kayo ang atong gasto baya gyud sa COVID kana atong mga CIUs kana atong everything grabe gyud kayo ang mga hospital and everything gyud. So medyo aron dili kayo ma-overheat ang atong financial capability. So I would go for voluntarism. So mura na siya, Mr. Chair, kay anyway dili magina all for Cagayan de Oro, that's for Northern Mindanao, especially those atong mga kaigsuunan, atong mga abay Misamis Oriental o ang atong uban Miss-op na wala sila yung mga storage facilities nga dini i-refer dayon sa ato sa dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. Daghang salamat Mr. Chair ug maayong hapon.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Ruben Dava. So, you are giving yourself as a volunteer, huh? Okay,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
one of the Councilor Ruben Dava, a doctor by profession,
And a registered nurse also, Mr. Chair.
a registered nurse also.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chair.
sabi, so gamit gigi ka. Pwede, you can volunteer to the hospital donated by the Cagayan de Oro in San Simon.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, I tell Lorraine Nery, our former what you call it, kanang city health officer nga I volunteer myself. I'm just waiting for their call sa city health.
Okay. Well, in fairness, Cagayan de Oro is the one in COVID response. Only the LG of Cagayan de Oro made an hospital and donated in response to this COVID-19 to the entire Philippines. Kita kayo nakabuhat ng hospital. In fairness, at least balaan na sa kadaghanan. Laudable act. We made an hospital in response to this COVID. So, nagamit naman dali, no? Councilor Maria Lourdes yan. Okay, to add. Okay, you want to add about the hospital? Okay. You have the time.
Actually, the city government turned over the SERID, City Emerging and Re-emerging Emergency Infectious Diseases, last April 8 to NMMC. With the hospital has a capacity of only 55 beds.
55
Actually,
beds.
they are already catering to about 75 to 100 mild to moderate cases of COVID-19. So pag mag-severe dito na lang siya sa NMMC and critical cases of COVID-19.
So mild dito.
Mild
San
to
Simon.
moderate. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani, for the information about this hospital in San Simon. Donated coming from the local government of Cagayan de Oro. So, okay. Thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, for your special report. I think it is made clearly by the committee chairman on health for this an option for one of an option for this, for the fast track of this rollout vaccine to have or contracted by any medical course practitioners in the city.
If accommodated, Councilor Roger Abate would like to render a report, Mr. Chairman.
Well, is it your shoes is already okay? Huh? Okay, you can be okay.
Brand juice.
Just 2 minutes.
Yes, that's long 2 minutes.
We have to many proposed
Okay.
resolution and ordinances to tackle to.
Thank
So,
you very much.
okay. Okay, carry on, Councilor
Your
Roger
kindness,
Abate.
Vice Mayor Rene Kikang Uy, presiding officer. Of course, I would like also to congratulate our new doctor. Councilor pa, doctor pa yan. So, libre na ko resita na ni. Okay. So congratulations, my colleagues in 19th City Council and those who are all listening to us today. This report is about mandatory wearing of high visibility reflectorized vest or jackets to all riders and of motorcycles, e-bike, scooters, bicycles when traveling within the roads in the city of Cagayan de Oro. Now, the essence of this mandatory requirement, this we call this known as high best vest, highly visible vest, no? This aims to protect the drivers and riders and reduce accidents that results in physical injuries and loss of lives and properties, especially during nighttime and even in rainy season or zero visibility. Just last Saturday and yesterday, there were two tragic accidents between motorcycles and vehicle in Gusa, I think, in some other place. So there was an accident, no? It caused damage to one death or injuries and damage to properties. Grabe kaguba sa sakyanan. Dugmok sa ang motor, patay sa pang sundan pa yapon kagabi, no? So data released from World Health Organization in 2018 showed that 1.35 million lives taken due to accidents. And statistics recorded in the Philippines that 12,000 Filipinos die on the road every year. Motorcyclists are among the most vulnerable to road users along with the pedestrians. And they contribute more than half of the road traffic deaths. Now, the LTO, the Land Transportation Office, supports the measure, this warning of high best, since it will help secure motorists and enhances visibility of the riders. It will also give ample warning time for the other motorists to reach in case the riders would slip, the gas or vertic. When the road is also slipping, landlog, and that would give ample time for other motorists to react safely. The Road and Traffic Administration and COCPO, Cagayan de Oro Police data from January 21 up to May 21 indicates that there are 925 accidents involving motor vehicles. And of the same months and year, 28 road accidents involving bicycles caused deaths, injuries, and damage of properties. So with the high number of road accidents, not just in the Philippines, but around the world, concerned government institutions in the country are committed in finding ways to lower, if not zero out, the cases. Now, Cagayan de Oro must recognize the greater need for policy action to reduce motorcycle, e-bike, scooters, and bicycle accidents that resulted to physical injuries and even death, hereby protecting the lives and property of our people. Now, in concordance with this special report, Mr. Vice Mayor, my presiding officer, and my colleagues, this representation is proposing to pass an ordinance requiring all motorcycles, tricycle, e-bike, and bicycle drivers and riders to wear high visibility vest while traveling along the national highway and all roads within the city of Cagayan de Oro from 6 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning, and during heavy rains or typhoons, and providing penalties for the violation thereof. Now, I am respectfully referring this proposed ordinance to the proper committee, the Committee on Traffic or Security and Public Safety or Public Utility, whichever is the appropriate to handle this hearing, Mr. Chairman. I am giving also a proposed copy of the ordinance to our secretariat to help me also construct and styling of this ordinance, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Abaday. Oh, anybody want to add something? There is none. Okay, thank you for your special report. At the proper time, you have to draft such ordinance. Well, we widely consider that it was be the road safety or the road is one of the highest killer or the highest number of death when it comes to road accidents or any other case about something involving road. So at that moment, we have to stricter implement stricter rules of this road laws, and even you are proposing for a new ordinance about it, about this reflective vest, reflectorized vest. Well, at the proper time. Still, we are in MECQ. So, well, to further discuss this also, we have to refer it to the committee on traffic, chaired by Councilor Romeo Calizo. I think you already heard about the proposal of Councilor Roger Cabaday. So you have to act on it and draft such resolution at the proper time. Not this time around. So when it comes to strict rules, so we have to strict that there must be prohibition, implement the no driving while drinking or drinking while driving. So, Councilor Roger Cabaday, thank you for your special report this afternoon about the proposed draft ordinance that you are preparing and drafting. And so there must be a collaboration between the traffic committee chairman, Councilor Romeo Calizo. May hapon kanimo.
May hapon, Vice. Very much noted, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Thank you for the special report this afternoon, Councilor Roger Cabaday. At this moment, Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Marky Blat Nakaya, for our orders of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
May
Agenda
hapon
proper, we
kanino.
have item 1, proposed resolution number 2021-113 approving and or adopting the supplemental annual investment program SAIP number 1 for calendar year 2021 of the city government of Cagayan de Oro. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any
Second.
seconded? Well, I would like to from Melo Touch, our fellow reporter, Rod Sionis, may hapon kanimo, and so as Benji Montes at the back, our media partners this afternoon, may hapon kaninyo.
Hey, may hapon sa tanan.
Who are present this afternoon sa partner and delivering public service. For extending the pros and cons and do's and don'ts about the cycle and what's happening around, or the information of everybody. Thank you for your or the time that you've given to Cagayan de Oro and so as to the council. There is a pending proposal by the majority floor. Resolution number 2021-113, properly moved and seconded. Objection? Is there any? There is none. There is none. Resolution number 2021-113 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense. Seconded.
Second.
Number 2 is proposed resolution number 2021-114, interposing no objection to the application of Adelante Gaming Enterprise Corporation represented by its president, Ms. Princess V. Lalwani, to operate Pagcor Electronic Bingo, e-Bingo, and electronic games, e-games, at the Grand Central Arcade, Hayes Street, Barangay 4 of this city, provided that all the requirements, rules, and regulations covering such operations are complied with. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor leader. Any second?
Second.
Seconded. Objection? Objection.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Councilor Saldi Ogon,
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
you have the floor.
I am not against with this proposed resolution, Mr. Chairman. But at this point in time, since the city and the entire nation still facing this very pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, Mr. Chairman. So I would like first to hold in abeyance for the approval of this proposed resolution, Mr. Chairman. Not unless we are all free from this pandemic, Mr. Chairman. If I may, thank you very much.
Okay, you are not proposing, but you want to hold. Which is which? You have to state it clearly
To
in
hold.
your motion.
to hold in abeyance, Mr. Chairman, for the approval.
You
that
mean
draft.
for the deferment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, make it a proper motion.
Well, I'd like to, this presentation, would like to defer first this proposed resolution for the approval on the ground that the nation is still facing this pandemic problem, the COVID-19 pandemic, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
At the fact, the IETF is still pushing the so-called prevention, these protocols, the social distancing, and so on and so forth, Mr. Chairman. Naside nga kining mao nga bingo, Mr. Chairman, na diha magpusisok ang tao. So paganit ang masulbad nini, niya na po ni. So mo nang ako wala ko masupak nini. I just want to hold in abeyance this proposed resolution, Mr. Chairman. But I am not against the approval, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Saldi Ocon. There is a motion for a deferment. Any second? Any second?
Second.
We have to second it first before we discuss it to the. Okay, seconded by Councilor Inday Dahino. So there is a proper motion and seconded. Okay, a discussion for deferment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Roger Abaday. Okay, next will be Councilor Romeo Calizo.
This gaming A-game establishment, Mr. Chairman, has been operating already since 2011. This is just their extension in that arcade and somewhere in near Divisoria. Yeah, this was previously approved. In fact, this representation was, and together with Councilor Cabanlas, were against with this guano. But so they were operating, and this is just their extension, branch. Now, talking about pandemic, this is not one of the games, games or gaming that is banned by the IETF. In fact, there are continuous online gaming now in the Philippines, no? And even in Cagayan de Oro, it was not banned because this is a different kind of gaming establishment. Now, this gaming enterprise was submitted their strategic guidelines for their operation, Mr. Chairman, to the committee, as that they have to follow strictly what is required by PAGCOR and what is required by our city under the ordinance. They have submitted to us in the committee, and in fact, Mr. Chairman, under the PAGCOR, no, there are requirements for this gaming site. Requirements for the gaming site number 3, Mr. Chairman, they are allowed to operate because they are operating in a closed. Exemption is like among malls or in arcade. They are exempted Islam to operate, especially speaking about the distance to schools and churches too. This is one of the exemptions. So they are allowed to operate by the PAGCOR. Now, I do not know what reason that we will hold this gaming establishment. In fact, we need so much business to operate now in the city. This is an income-generating establishment, and this has no bad effect for this ining atong COVID karon. So we have to help also our businessmen. Daghan na kayo na close. Gani gipaplit ang tagya sa kuan karon mga kanang ilang gipamplitihan. 50% na lang ilang pliti just to naay mga tao sa ilang building. Katunga na lang gipapliti kay gusto na sila mag-close. Now they wanted to operate para in taon sa mabuhi sa sila. So muna maigsoon, I do not know. I do not know how you feel the situation now. In mo nga i-reduce, nag-post mga amnesty tax, abangan ta ang mga. Now, here comes a business operation that is operating now in the city. Wanted to do business in city of Gawai. Why not prohibit? Why do we prohibit it? But we have already approved it. This already sleeping in my committee for more than 4 months now. Now, we have to hold in abeyance. Still, what's the reason? What's the reason? Are we friendly to the businessmen or are we trying to kill the businessmen during this pandemic? So I do not find a reason, Mr. Chairman, to let this stay for another time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
We should have we have to do
Okay.
good Samaritan with our businessmen.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Cabaday. Well, the reason behind why, as stated by Councilor Saldi Ocon, is that because of the pandemic, but there is a guidelines from, as stated, as proposed. Okay, I think it is shared clearly by Councilor Saldi Ocon about the guidelines that they are proposing from, what do you call this one? That is why I keep on finding it. Page, appendix, so that it be guided by Councilor Saldi Ocon, the one that you are explaining to for the answer.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, wait, okay, page 29. Okay, Councilor Saldi Ocon, the reason you are stating the answer will be on page 29. Can you refer it to page 29, Councilor Saldi Ocon? About the one that explaining by Councilor Roger Cabaday.
Well, Mr. Chairman.
29 to 35? Page 35, okay. So that will be COVID, about the COVID. 29 daw, 29. So, well, there is still pending for deferment, properly moved and seconded. Well, since there is a opposing party about this proposal, so I have no other choice but to divide the house.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
please.
okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Mr. Presiding Officer. I support the motion of the Honorable Saldi Ocon for deferment on the issue on distances. This extension of the company is located at the center of the city. That's at Grand Central Arcade. And it is near the church, near the park, near hospital, and near the schools. And this has to be reviewed first before we take proper action, Mr. Chairman. With due respect to the Honorable Roger Abad, I understand his sentiment, but then we have to straighten up things first before we finally come up with an appropriate motion, Mr. Chairman. Because what has been submitted by the geodetic engineer is its distance, the linear distance only from Xavier University, but they failed to submit the distances from the hospital, from the parks, from the church, and other institutions that may be affected by this gaming, Mr. Chairman. So with that, I support the motion for deferment.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Okay, Councilor Roger Cabaday.
With due respect, my buddy, Councilor General Romeo Calizo, under requirements for gaming site, PAGCOR, by Philippine Amusement Gaming Corporation, PAGCOR, paragraph 3, there, paragraph 3. The 300-meter distance restriction and in 1 kilometer or 500-meter radial distance requirement shall not apply to malls, arcade, and 3-star hotels and resorts accredited by the Department of Tourism, authorized by PAGCOR and by the local government unit concerned. So, kining ilang nabutangan karon that considered as an arcade. So this is one of the exemption that the PAGCOR has required. So the 300 meters, the distance which our LGU has defined, does not apply on this, and this is one of the exemptions. So this is the gaming requirements
coming from PAGCOR.
PAGCOR. So this supersedes the previous guideline, Mr. Chairman. That with regard to distance.
Page,
No, this is from PAGCOR. PAGCOR. Wala na abad attachment.
asa man?
Next. Niyo. Nara.
Asa nga page?
Ito na to sa atong sa bat. Oh,
Okay, page 35.
paragraph.
Page 35, paragraph 3. Okay. Hmm,
Oh, page 55, paragraph 3.
okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Okay,
let-
Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Yes, if you refer to the letter of the City Legal Office addressed to the Honorable Roger Baday, in the second to the last paragraph, in Appendix C, page 27 of the response of the City Legal Office, it stated that considering that the proposed new location is at the Grand Central Arcade, Hayes Street, which is quite close proximity to Xavier University, San Agustin Cathedral, Cagayan de Oro Maternity and Children's Hospital and Periculture Center, and the park. Herein, applicant must be able to first submit documentary proofs that the said location is not within the 200-meter, no longer, because the 300 linear meter distance not applicable anymore, as invoked by the good councilor, provided by law, Mr. Chairman. But there's no proof that the 200 linear meters from the aforementioned school, church, and hospital has been submitted by the same company. And it is with this reason, Mr. Chairman, that we should first straighten this up at the committee level before we finalize our decision, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay, thank you, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Well,
Mr. Chairman.
okay, I think the proposed committee is loudly hear it, the reason behind the deferment. Maybe you can further discuss it further about these requisites in operating such e-games to the committee on games and amusement. So since there is a pending motion and seconded, so well. Okay. So there is a proposal for the division of the house. So much better for me. You make my day. So since there is an opposing proposal or contradicting views, so I have no other choice but to divide the house. So since there is a pending proposal for deferment, properly moved and seconded. So to those who are in for the deferment, please raise your right hand. For deferment. For deferment. So
8 in favor of deferment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. So 8 for deferment. So to those uh, who are not, who are against for deferment, please raise your right hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 are against the deferment, Mr. Chairman.
5.
6.
6.
Abstention.
Okay. Abstention? Please
5,
raise your right
5
hand.
against.
For abstention.
Abstention.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 abstain, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. 4 abstention. So resolution number 2021, that's 114 is different.
Number 3, Mr. Chairman, is proposed resolution number 2021-115. Interposing no objection to the proposed concreting of the 0.135 kilometer barangay access road located at Zone 2, Barangay Lumbia de City under the project of the Kapit Bisig Laban sa Kahirapan Comprehensive and Integrated Delivery of Social Services, Kapangyarihan at Kaunlaran sa Barangay Kalahi Seeds, AKB of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Objection. 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 None. None. Hearing none. Resolution number 2021, that's 115 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
Number 4 is proposed resolution number 2021-116, endorsing and or interposing no objection to the application of the Mindanao Cooperatives Water Service Federation, MWCSF, represented by its chairman, Mr. Luis Antonio S. Yap, to operate at a level 3 water supply system throughout Cagayan de Oro City, particularly in communities with insufficient water supply. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Seconded. Objection.
Second.
Objection. Resolution number 2021-116. Since there is no objection of the call, it is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Seconded.
Number 5 is proposed ordinance number 2021-99, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar Moreno, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement MOA with the Misamis Oriental 1 Rural Electric Service Cooperative Inc. Morisco 1, represented by its board president Joar JD. Joar. Covering the latter selecting National High School bunkhouse located in Barangay Biking on the city under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Move. Majority floor leader, seconded. Objection.
Second.
Objection. None. None. Ordinance number 2021-99 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Second.
Number 6 is proposed ordinance number 2021-100, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement MOA with the World Vision Development Foundation Incorporated, represented by the Executive Director Romel V. Fuerte, covering the collaboration of the parties to promote the project against child exploitation, Project ACE, in the city under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Properly moved.
Second.
Floor leader, seconded. Objection. Objection. None. None. Ordinance number 2021-100 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Second.
Seconded.
7 is proposed ordinance number 2021-101, approving the preliminary subdivision development plan, PSDP, of Forever Homes Bayanga subdivision project, located in Barangay Bayanga, the city, with an area of 111,912 square meters, containing 944 lots, units, socialized housing project as applied for by the True Homes Development Incorporated, represented by Sofia L. Roque, subject to the conditions imposed by the City Engineering Office, City Housing and Urban Development Department, and the City Housing Board. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Floor leader, seconded. Objection. Objection. None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-101 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second.
Second.
8 is proposed ordinance number 2021-102, provisionally reducing the rate of departure fee for public utility buses at the westbound terminal from 50 pesos. Actually, this is 35 pesos, Mr. Chairman, to 35 pesos per departure for the duration only of the community quarantine in Cagayan de Oro City due to COVID-19 pandemic, provided that the same shall automatically revert back to the original rate immediately upon the lifting of the city's community quarantine or when the city will be back to normal. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by
Second.
Majority Floor Leader.
Second.
Any second?
Second.
Seconded. But before we proceed, is Councilor J around?
Always by. Sige kong second.
May background ba kung ano
Hey, can I view your location? Makamingaw, masagkagawan. Let's open for viewing Councilor J. Is Councilor Suset around? Councilor Suset, magtahas da ba?
Beijing. Oh.
Here. Abi ko absent. Sayop day ko.
Sure.
May hapon kanimo konsyala.
May hapon.
And so as Councilor J. Pascual, may hapon.
Ngapon by. Second.
Ay ayo dia. There is a pending proposal, an ordinance. Properly moved and seconded. Objection? Objection. None? None. Ordinance number 2021-102 is hereby approved.
Dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
So grasya, murag walay condolence karon, Mr. Chairman. So for inclusion is our items 9 and 10, Mr. Chairman. Move for their inclusion.
For inclusion. Any second? Seconded.
Second.
Carry on. Seconded. Carry on, majority floor. You may now
Number-
proceed.
Number 9 is proposed ordinance number 2021-103, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement (MOA) with the Mindanao Consortium on Surgical Training (MCOST), to be represented by its chairman, Dr. Jaime B. Lagunilla, covering the parties' collaboration for the training of the latter's residents in the field of surgery at the J.R. Borja General Hospital under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly
Second.
moved by the majority floor leader. Seconded. Objection. Objection. None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-103 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense with
Second.
penalty.
Second.
Seconded.
Second.
Number 10 is proposed ordinance number 2021-104, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement (MOA) with the municipal government of Misamis Oriental. Interesado ha, saan? To be represented by its municipal mayor, Honorable Redentor S. Hardin, MSCE, covering the collaboration of the parties in establishing a referral arrangement between the J.R. Borja General Hospital and the Hassan Municipal Hospital under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor leader. Seconded. Objection. Is there any objection? Okay. From the center, from the rear part of the center. No other than Councilor Enrico Salcedo. Pagani na mag-propose, na object na. Adili discussion na eh. Mayong hapon kanimo konsiha.
Mayong hapon, Mr. Chairman, mayong hapon sa atong mga kauban ug sa tanan. Mayong hapon. Nag-query, Mr. Chairman. Pero ako lay padayag nga dili ko against aning ordinance, proposed ordinance. Ako lang pangutana kung especially sa committee chair sa health, kung advantage ba ni siya sa City of Cagayan de Oro. Ako dili ko against tungod kay I'm sure nga basin na akong mga relatives nga gikan sa saan nga ma-refer lugar diya sa Jarbora. Pero ako lang i-explicar si Chairman nga official po ko diri sa City of Cagayan de Oro. Ako lang kabalakan mo ko si Chairman labi na karon nga awas-awas ang atong pasyente tungod aning pandemic niya. Nabasa nako sa kining mga kondisyon sa MOA nga in case lugar nga puno ang atong emergency, pwede i-refer sa lain. Pero ang ako sang concern, Mr. Chairman, nga kung na-refer na dito sa Hasaan Municipal Hospital o niya na-occupy na sa Hasaan Municipal Hospital o niya natay pasyente coming from the Cagayan de Oro, Mr. Chairman. Muna akong balakan. Basta mga tanong ko kung advantage ba?
Balaka lang ka, balaka lang.
Balaka lang ko. Advantage ba kay usbon ako official po ko sa City of Cagayan de Oro, Mr. Chairman. Although dagang ko relatives dito sa Hasaan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Enrico Salcedo. Just a discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Saldi Ocon?
Yeah.
Okay, Councilor Saldi Ocon?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Councilor Saldi Ocon. You have the floor.
Ang Mr. Chairman, dili lang po Hasaan ang sa pagkakaroon ang nagpakita nga mo pahigayon o memorandum of agreement tali sa Cagayan de Oro, JR Borja. Ang tinuod, daghan kaayong mga pasyente, Mr. Chairman, nga atong giakomodar sa JR Borja General Hospital. Muna labing tinuod, nahibawan na si Councilor Dr. Gani. Ubay-ubay ang naadiha, Mr. Chairman, nga naatiman sa syudad. Wa lang nato nagisaba nga dugay na nang giatiman. So karon atong pasalamatan nga mismo ang Hasaan may palugwa na sa ilahang opinion, ang ilahang mga opisyal nga magkigamuwa sa ato. Kana siguro, Mr. Chairman, labi pa karon kay ang JR Borja Hospital, puno-puno karong mga panahon na. Gani ang mga COVID patient na to, nag-awas-awas na nana sa gawas. So siguro advantage kay ini, in fairness na to sa tong amigo ni Councilor Eric Salcido, advantage kay ini sa ato na makatabang taas na makakatauhan sa Hasaan na di man po siguro ingon anak kadaghan, Mr. Chairman, ang mga madala na siguro yung mga pipila na maka-akomodar nato dinhi sa Cagayan de Oro. Labi pa kay ang Cagayan de Oro musugutog sa dili nga ang kapital sa Misamis Oriental, Cagayan de Oro man yun. So advantage dat tanan ini. Ang ato tabangan na lang nato, Mr. Chairman. Salamat.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Saldi Ocon. So, si referring ito as tinabangay. So, Councilor Enrico Salcedo.
Ang ako, Mr. Chairman, magod. Wala po. Marinti man ta. Namda spirit lugar sa pagtabang. Pero ang akong ginasentro magod, both Hasaan o Cagayan de Oro. In case lugar, labi na karon during sa pandemic, Mr. Chairman, nga maski ang private hospital puno gani, how much more ang public or government hospital, Mr. Chairman? Muna nga nakapangutan ako kung advantage ba sa City of Cagayan de Oro kining memorandum of agreement. Kay ang point nako is namagutas pandemic, Mr. Chairman. Lipay ta kay nakatabang ta sa lain. How about sa taga Cagayan de Oro kung manginang lanzap, Mr. Chairman? Usbon ako dili ko against aning ordinance kining memorandum of agreement.
Okay, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani.
May nga po ka natong tanan. Actually, considering na Hasaan is pila lang ka kilometers from Cagayan de Oro, I agree with Councilor Saldi Ocon na dili lang man Hasaan ang naka-avail sa atong city hospital, no, sa karon na even as far as Lanao and Bukidnon are already availing the services of JR Borja Hospital. Now, kung yung advantage, sir, advantage good ko na MOA between an LGU from LGU Hasaan to Cagayan de Oro. Considering na yung ka nga COVID, namang goy sa MOA magod part is ma-attend yun ang atong mga patients, especially coming from Hasaan. And for one, we already have an UMOA with the municipality of Hitagum. Now, ako lang, there is a hospital sa Hasaan which is an infirmary. Naa sila. Now, ang atong hospital is already level 1 and we're applying for a level 2 hospital. Siguro na yung mga services nga dili may ahimo sa infirmary. Muna kung ma-refer sa ato sa JR Borao na non-COVID, kaya ang ato mang NMMC has already declared the code red. Ipasabutan na COVID patients lang ilang dawaton. So, ang ato ani is City Hospital will be catering to mild cases of COVID and non-COVID cases. Now, kung natin MOA with Hasaan, I think is much advantage na masagad priority ang those coming from those referral from Hasaan, municipality of Hasaan. Muna ako, mas tagaan o kuan kay na may mga MOA, bounded man ta sa MOA nga tagaan o pagtagad ang taga Hasaan. Okay? Salamat.
Okay, thank you.
Dali na akong parintini mo, Councilor.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani. I think Councilor Enrico Salcedo is very satisfied about the answer, especially coming from Hasaan. Well, about the ordinance, is just the collaboration. When it comes to collaboration, about the resources and so as the manpower and so as the knowledge and skills of each or both health institution will be together shared for the goodness and for the service. When it comes to the referral, it depends upon the attending physician for their approval about it. So, since there is no objection, after all, this Councilor Enrico Salcedo is manifesting that he is not objecting, but as well said that he
But
is
his
supporting.
observations, Mr. Chairman, are correct.
Oh,
Sada to pare. Pero health is wealth and everybody should be treated.
he is
Pero
not
his
objecting.
observation is
He
very
is not
correct.
so sukwahi objecting pero supak lang.
Ito siya is he's posing a challenge to DOH to provide more health facilities for Misamis Oriental.
But as I heard Councilor Saldi Ocon, mukhang nalandagan ko. So mo na nga, okay deh.
Pero supportive mi sa imo pare ha.
Councilor Saldi Ocon.
Sabta na to nga taga-epekto na. The pending motion, Mr. Chairman, is for the approval.
Okay, there is a pending motion properly moved and seconded. Objection. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-104 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
And
Mr. Chairman, for inclusion,
To make
other
it
matters, Mr.
efficient,
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Councilor Edgar Cabanlan.
May I request, Mr. Chairman, that we will have this last additional agenda in this session this afternoon. May I move for the passage of a resolution congratulating our majority floor leader for garnering this highest academic achievement in public administration from a very prestigious university of the Philippines, Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan, the degree of Doctor in Public Administration, giving honor not only to the City Council but to the people of Cagayan. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlan, for proposed motion. Any
Mr. Chairman.
second? Seconded.
Chairman.
Okay.
second,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Saldi Ocon,
Yeah.
you are objecting?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I try, Mr. Chairman, to the Honorable Edgar Cabanlas to pass this very prestigious resolution, Mr. Chairman, because our college, the first time in the city of Cagayan de Oro, we have had a member of a city council nakakuha niya ng degree of administration. And it is our honor, Mr. Chairman.
Pre, approve na this kwan pa rin, hasaan.
Thank you, Pre. Thank you, Pre.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Saldi. Okay, properly moved and seconded.
Anyway,
Objection?
Thank you.
Objection? Well, subject for styling by our very own secretary.
Maputol pa rin, maputol.
Moved and seconded. Proposed by all.
Thank you, Councilor Cabanlas.
Seconded by all. Objecting by none. So resolution number 2021-117. Since there is no objection, it is hereby approved. Congratulations, Majority Floor Leader, Dr.
The motion for dispensation
Ayan
is
Mark
still
Kiblat na kaya.
from Councilor Cabanlas.
For its finality, Majority Floor.
Councilor Cabanlas will
Second.
request the second and dispensation of the second and final reading.
Okay, for its finality, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Move to dispense second final reading.
For dispense,
Thank you.
seconded. For its finality. Congratulations, Majority Floor Leader Ayan Mark Kiblat na kaya.
Thank you.
Doctor
Yay!
on Public Administration.
Ning kamot lang para makatabang.
Grabe kayo, mas daghan na gid man serbisyuhan. Skill, knowledge, kakugi.
Thank you.
Ang kasing-kasing anaa sa mga kababainan o kalalakinan. Kababainan o kalalakinan para sa pagpanerbisyo sa atong dakbayan.
Tawadok buboy.
No other than Councilor Dr. Ayan Mark Kiblat na kaya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move to adjourn.
Session adjourned.
Yay!
Hapon sa tanan.
Stay safe, everyone.